Hello everyone, my name is Maria Sanchez, and today we're looking at a very dramatic ethical dilemma involving technology, government systems, and one very, not pun intended because of that photo, but very bold IT employee. So they're very risky. That's the word I was looking for. So now, my presentation is called The Housing Hacker, Hero or System Criminal. The question is simple, but we're gonna test it to see if is it ethical for an IT employee to secretly change a rent relief system to help people. Basically, breaking the rules to do the right thing, or at least what seems like the right thing. Now imagine a city housing department that gives rent assistance to low-income families. People they apply online, but the system is extremely strict. And I mean ridiculously strict. You miss a small detail, you get rejected. You leave a field blank, and you get rejected. You forget your middle initial, and guess what? You're rejected. So people who actually qualify for a housing support are denied because of tiny technical errors. In other words, an automated system is creating real world harm. An IT employee noticed this, right? And they see families getting rejected for minor issues and think, okay, this is not right. So they secretly changed the system's validation rules so non essential fields no longer block approval. Suddenly, more applications get approved and more families receive aid. Problem solved, right? Well, not really, because they made these changes without permission and authorization. Let's taste the ethical actor, right? We must clearly identify the ethical actor in the action being tested. So, the actor is the IT employee working in a city housing department, and the action being tested is secretly modifying a government rent relief system application without authorization to approve more applicants. The central ethical question is, does helping people justify breaking professional rules and responsibilities? To answer this, we're going to evaluate the action using three ethical frameworks. First, we're going to look at utilitarianism. We look at utilitarianism as an evaluation of actions based on outcomes. An action is considered ethical if it produces the greatest benefit for the greatest number of people. This framework focuses on overall happiness, well being, and reduction of suffering. In this case, we ask, does modifying the system create more overall benefit than harm? That's the question we're going to test. Now, the second framework is deontology. It's also called duty-based ethics. Deontology focuses on rules, obligations, and professional responsibility. It argues that some actions are wrong even if they produce helpful outcomes. From this perspective, professionals have a duty to follow policies, respect authority, and maintain system integrity. Now, the last framework that we look at is the ACM Code of Ethics. Now, the ACM Code of Ethics provides guidelines for computer professionals. It emphasizes contributing to society, avoiding harm, and acting honestly, following rules, and maintaining professional accountability. It also stresses that computer professionals must consider both public good and professional responsibility when making decisions. This framework is specifically relevant because the ethical actor in this case is an IT professional. Now, we're going to test the utilitarian perspective. The employees sections looks pretty good, right? We know that more families get housing assistance. We know that we're going to get less suffering. And again, we're going to see more efficient systems. But again, there are risks. Unauthorized changes could create system errors. They could approve ineligible applicants, or they could reduce public trust in government technology. So, utilitarianism gives a mixed answer. Good short-term benefits, but possible long-term problems. Duty ethics is a little bit more strict. The employee broke the rules. They bypassed procedures and they acted without authorization. Even if they did it with good intentions, that still violates professional responsibility. The ACM Code of Ethics shows the conflict clearly. And we're talking about an IT professional. Even though they help society, which is a good decision, they were not transparent and they did not follow policy and they undermined accountability, which again is not a good look as someone working for the government in an IT perspective. So the action supports public good but violates professional conduct. Now, the action in this case overall, it goes beyond one city. Governments around the world use automated systems to distribute services like housing, healthcare, and financial aid, even at our school, right? When professionals secretly change these systems, even with good intentions, it affects trust in digital infrastructure. This case shows why computer ethics matters globally, because technology decisions can impact the entire population, which is very important to look at. When when professionals secretly modify critical systems, even for good reasons, it raises concerns about governance, accountability, and trust in digital infrastructure worldwide. The final judgment for this case. Again, what's the final judgment? The employees in sections were clearly good and they wanted to help vulnerable people, but secretly changing a critical system undermines trust, accountability, and responsibility overall. So, a more ethical solution will be reporting the issue and pushing for official reform. So, the goal was ethical, but the method is highly questionable and not acceptable. And now let's imagine the aftermath. You see that the boss walks in and says, why were they 12,000 applications approved overnight for many people? The IT employee slowly closes their laptop and says, hey, my bad. System update, not my fault. And then they get arrested. So thank you for listening and hope you guys have a great day.